Hello guys, how are you? Today we are seeing the election results from Bihar. Bihar is the, I think, second most populous state currently. Bihar is the second most populous state currently. I think it has more population than Maharashtra right now. And today we are seeing the results from Bihar. And actually, the Mahagathbandhan, the party of Tejasvi Yadav, plus the Congress, they were decimated by the NDA. BJP plus JDU is equal to NDA. You have the Chirag Paswan party also in that coalition, plus Chetan Ram Manji's party, plus Upendra Kushwaha's party. So they have made actually a good coalition of several parties, and those represent several castes. So yeah, they have decimated their opposition. They are now hovering around 200 seats. 200 seats. Okay. They just had to win 122 seats. That's it. And currently they are hovering around 200 seats. The problem with the opposition is that one party, that is RJD, they are representing this My combination, Muslim Yadav combination in Bihar. Congress does not have their own vote bank in Bihar at all. They used to get the votes of upper caste previously, but currently they are not getting any types of vote from any group. On the other hand, there is a AIMIM party, the party of Owaisi. They also get the Muslim vote. So Muslim vote is getting divided, not that much, but it is getting divided. But if even if the party of MGB Mahagathbandhan coalition, even if they get 100% Yadav vote and 100% Muslim vote, even then it won't cross the mark of 35%. They got 38% because some other caste also voted for their candidates. On the other hand, the BJP has the vote of upper caste. It are like 11% of the population of Bihar. The Nitish Kumar has the votes of non-Yadav OBCs. That is a huge chunk of Bihar. Then Jitan Ram Manji has the votes of this Ati Pichhadas, like they are extra backwards. They are even lower than the Dalits when it comes to the caste hierarchy in Bihar. And then you have this Chirag Paswan, the son of Ram Vilas Paswan, and he also has few percentage of votes of Paswan community, that is the Dalit community. So the caste combination is currently is in favor of BJP and Nitish Kumar. So that is why they are winning the election. Prashant Kishore had some. He thought that he has some chances in Bihar election. He actually did some good interviews. He ran a good campaign. It was all over social media, and he also did this Padiyatra for hundreds of kilometers. He went to not every village, but he went to most of the villages in Bihar, which have the population. So his theory is that in 20% of the villages in Bihar, 80% people live. So basically, he went to those 20% villages in Bihar. So he did then run a great campaign, but to no avail. He's maybe getting, I don't know, 3 4 seats he's getting, or maybe not even that. He's close to zero, I think. So he's also not getting that many seats. If you think about it, the last time the RJD won in a spectacular way was during the Lalu Yadav period. It was in the late 90s, and then if you have seen the movie, this movie Gangs of Wasepur, you should see that movie. That was an actual description of what was happening in Bihar at that time. You should see that movie. That will tell you there was no business. If you open some business, you have to give the protection money to all these politicians and all these like henchmen of politicians. You have to give the protection money. So that is what was happening in Bihar during that time. And they used to pick up girls like anything. Okay, they used to pick up girls just to have sex with them, just to rape them. They actually the workers of RJD party, they raped a woman who was a wife of a IAS officer. Can you imagine? IAS officer's wife got raped in Bihar during the rule of Lalu Prasad Yadav. And who raped that woman? Those were the RJD workers. So you can imagine what was happening on the ground. If the wife of an IAS officer can get raped, you can imagine what was the condition of other women who were not connected to the powerful people. And that was a daily scenario in Bihar at that time. They used to kidnap the businessman just to extort the money. And it was not a one-off scenario. It used to happen on daily basis, on daily basis. And that is how the rule of this Lalu Prasad Yadav, termed as Jungle Raj. Basically, there are no rules, no constitution, nothing was there. It was a Jungle Raj. Basically, what do you call this in English? Forest rule? I don't know. So it was the scene. Since then, so Biharis were just waiting for the first opportunity to throw this party out from the power. They grabbed that opportunity. They elected Nitish Kumar plus BJP coalition. And since then, with minor hiccups in between, these two parties with a coalition, they are ruling Bihar. Bihar is poor. Nobody is going to say that Bihar got rich, or Bihar got developed. No, that is not the same. Bihar is not rich. Bihar is not developed, but they are getting to that point. Currently, Bihar is the poorest state in all of India. But you have to see the difference in the early 2000s and in 2025. So the Bihar has changed a lot in last 25 years. A lot actually. And that is one of the reason that this party, this coalition of BJP and Nitish Kumar, they kept winning. They are winning even today. So there's now people are saying that it is because the election commission is helping them, and it is because the election, this EVM machine is helping them. But they used to win when the Congress was ruling the center. When the election commission used to work for the Congress, even then these two parties were winning. So this argument is just too weak. It won't stand the scrutiny. It won't stand even one question if you ask them, like, if election commission is helping them, then why do they need to hack the EVM? And if they are hacking the EVM, then like, who cares about the election commission then? Anyway, they are hacking the EVM. So why do they need the help of election commission to like They do not need the help of the election commission if they are hacking the EVMs. So that is another thing. And I am hopeful, I am really hopeful that in next 5 years the Bihar will cross the 2000 GDP per capita mark. I am pretty hopeful in that. Tamil Nadu, one of the richest state in Indian Republic, has crossed that mark 15 years back, and I am pretty sure that in next 5 years Bihar will do the same. They will cross the mark of $2,000 per capita. If India has to become rich, if India has to become like really powerful, then three states, actually four states, needs to up their game. We are seeing some hope in the UP, but these four states are Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, West Bengal, and Jharkhand. We can add Punjab also to this list. These four or five states, they need to up their game if we want to see a developed India, if we want to see a rich India. These five states, four or five states are there because they have a substantial population and they have a potential also. Like UP, Bihar, West Bengal, Jharkhand, and Punjab, they are like close to 50 crores of population. 500 million people. 500 million people. It is more than the population of. It is more than the combined population of USA plus Canada plus United Kingdom plus Australia plus New Zealand. You can throw Netherlands also. You can throw Belgium also, and maybe the Sweden and Australia will fit into that as well. So the combined population of all these countries will dwarf in comparison to the population of UP, Bihar, Punjab, West Bengal, and Jharkhand. And the population of actually these three states is still growing. UP, Bihar, and Jharkhand. The population is still growing and growing really fast. The fertility rate is above replacement level 2.5, close to 2.5. The replacement level is 2.1. It is above replacement level, and they also have the younger population. So basically the population is still booming. So yeah, if India has to become a, if we remove this 500 million people from 1.4 billion people, then we are left with 900 million people. These 900 million people are doing fine basically. You can see Tamil Nadu, Kerala, you can see all these coastal states of Maharashtra, Goa, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, and Telangana, and Karnataka, and Odisha. Actually, Odisha is doing pretty well. Chhattisgarh is doing pretty well. I am like, baffled by this. That Chhattisgarh is doing pretty well. Rajasthan is also doing pretty well. Haryana, Delhi, they are the front runners when it comes to North Indian states. Same with Uttarakhand. Himachal is lagging, but the population is not that huge, so it won't drag down the whole this richness of India, or they won't increase the poverty level of India because the population of Himachal is too low. But these five states, they have the population and they also have the potential to become something big in the next 15 to 20 years. And I'm really hopeful that they will achieve that mark. And I'm really hopeful about Bihar also. If Bihar can achieve the 2000 per capita within the next 5 years, then it will cross the $300 billion mark of total GDP in nominal terms, and that will be a good thing for Bihari people, and as well for the Indian people. So yeah, I am hopeful, and I hope this will happen, and I hope that people vote for development more and more. You will ask that initially I have said the coalition is of caste, the is better on the side of BJP, then why am I saying about this? that people are voting for development. No, no, no. That is not the point. The point is people sometimes vote to keep something out, and they want to keep Lalu Prasad Yadav and his kins out of the government. That is one of the things, because Bihar was not that much of a laggard state when Lalu Prasad Yadav came to power. It was kind of a middle income state when it comes to the Indian scenario. It was kind of a middle income, not very poor, not very rich, kind of in the middle. And then 10 years of that horrendous rule, it ruined everything. 10 years of that horrendous rule. And then there was the momentum of that overcast of that horrendous rule. So it took some time to pick up the growth, and now they are growing well above double digit mark. So I'm pretty hopeful that they will reach at a good place, and they won't leave their state to work in other state just to earn the basic living. They're not earning in, if they are going to Gujarat, or they are going to Tamil Nadu, they are not earning in millions. They are doing the basic level jobs there. So I am hopeful about this, that they won't need to leave their state to work in these low paying jobs. They can do the low paying jobs, but they can do it in Bihar. If the industries come, they can do it in Bihar. So if one person who is doing a low paying job in Chennai and he is of Bihari origin, it would be much better that if he does the low paying job in Patna, or in Motihari, or in Begusarai, or in any other city of Bihar, Vaishali maybe, yeah. So yeah, I am pretty hopeful about that, and see what happens next. They are growing with a double digit growth. That is a good sign that they can grow, and that they can work on their uh, drawbacks. Yeah. So yeah, this is my two bits. Yeah. Bye bye.